Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was in Corning today to break down how a new bill will help Corning Inc. reach new heights. Our Josh Feldberg was at the press conference today and tells us how this will impact the Southern Tier.
The Senate recently passed the CHIPS and Science Bill. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was in Corning today to celebrate the passing of the bill with Corning Inc. Schumer was a driving force in passing the bill into law. The law will bolster semiconductor microchip manufacturing, an industry that companies like Corning are a big part of.
Now, when you think about semiconductor industry, you don't automatically think of Corning, but in fact, we are central to the production and performance of the precision equipment that builds state-of-the-art semiconductor chips.
The new law delivers the largest federal investment in manufacturing and innovation in decades. This will bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. from overseas.
I've helped Corning in many ways through the years, both because they're a good company, they care about New York, and they employ New Yorkers. 6,000 people here in the Southern Tier or in all of New York State. 6,000 in the Southern Tier alone. And attract young people to come here, stay here, want to live the good lifestyle that there is here. Look at the beautiful day we have today.
With the new federal investment, Corning will be at the forefront of research and development in the microchip industry. This could lead to new innovations that are impossible to predict.
I'm really glad to be here because Corning has done such a great job. But for Corning, given this CHIPS bill and where the economy, the world economy is headed, the best is yet to come.
Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Corning.
A new wind farm is coming to Steuben County. The New York State Public Service Commission approved compliance filings for the 242-megawatt farm. The project will be under construction in Cohocton, Dansville, Fremont, and Wayland. Commission Chair Rory Christian stated these projects benefit all New Yorkers by reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and creating clean energy. The Watkins Glen International Speedway is revving up for another NASCAR race. Maggie Hall visited the track to give us a preview of what it will be like.
Racers and racing fans will be starting their engines here next weekend at the Watkins Glen International Speedway for the annual NASCAR Cup Series. The Watkins Glen Raceway is classified as road racing. The track is known for its unique course setup. It has many hills and turns, with grandstands strategically placed along the course for fans to cheer on their favorite racers. Crowds have been coming here since 1940, and the track has hosted a NASCAR race every year since 1986, except for in 2020 due to COVID. Are you race day ready? The Glen.com/fan guide lists all the things you can and can't bring on race weekend. Do bring a maximum of 2 bags per person, sunscreen, sunblock, hand sanitizer, and bug spray, insulated cups, prepackaged and sealed foods and beverage items, and service animals. Don't bring weapons of any kind, umbrellas, collapsible chairs, frisbees, balloons, or any other projectile, or any display of the Confederate flag. The ticket gates open at 7 a.m. on Saturday, August 20th. If you'd like to buy your tickets for this racing experience, you can visit theglen.com. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Watkins Glen.
Park Avenue Sports Center will host their first laser tag tournament. The tournament will be held August 20th, starting at 5 p.m. Teams are composed of 5 players. Each team will need to pay a $125 entry fee. You can send an email to the address on your screen for more details. The town of Southport will celebrate its 200th year on Saturday. The bicentennial celebration tomorrow will be in Chapel Park. There will be inflatables, live music, vendors, and historical demonstrations. The celebration will begin at 2 p.m. and go until 5. After a week of speculation, we now know what was in the search warrant and the property receipt from the raid at Mar-a-Lago. Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with those details.
The warrant has been unsealed after both the Justice Department and the former president agreed it should be, but it still doesn't give us the full story of why the raid had to happen.
We're learning more about what FBI agents took from Mar-a-Lago, according to the warrant and property list unsealed by a Florida judge. They retrieved 11 sets of classified information, including documents marked top secret, secret, confidential, and a very tightly controlled designation classified, top secret, sensitive, compartmented information. There was information on the French president, binders of photos, and a handwritten note. The warrant said, quote, the locations to be searched include the 45 office, all storage rooms, and all other rooms or areas within the premises used or available to be used by the former president and his staff, and in which boxes or documents could be stored. Neither the Justice Department nor Team Trump will say what is in the documents after reports suggested they were nuclear documents. President Trump claimed online everything was declassified and in secure storage. He called the reports a hoax. Florida federal judge Bruce Reinhart signed the warrant on August 5th. The raid took place on August 8th.
Releasing the warrant and the list are not going to answer these concerns. Attorney General Garland should release the affidavit.
The affidavit, which would show why the early morning raid was necessary, remains sealed. It would have the most sensitive information. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
New York State Police say a man ran up onto the stage and attacked renowned author Salman Rushdie and the man who was interviewing him at the Chautauqua Institution. Brian Yennis has the latest from Chautauqua, New York.
Author Salman Rushdie stabbed on stage at an event in western New York. Witnesses say a man stormed the stage at the Chautauqua Institution where Rushdie was about to give a lecture. The suspect allegedly attacking Rushdie as he was being introduced. Police say the 75-year-old novelist fell to the floor and was airlifted to a local hospital, suffering from an apparent stab wound to the neck. A state trooper at the scene took the suspect into custody.
I thought that he was stabbed about 6 to 8 times before they were able to grab a hold of the perpetrator.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul reacted to the attack, praising first responders at the scene who assisted Rushdie and apprehended the suspect.
I want to commend the state police. It was a state police officer who stood up and saved his life, protected him, as well as the moderator who was attacked as well.
Rushdie is a well-known author and winner of the world's top literary prizes. His writings have led to death threats. His book, The Satanic Verses, has been banned in Iran since 1988, as many Muslims consider the work blasphemous. Iran has offered over $3 million in reward money for anyone who kills Rushdie.
Here's an individual who has spent decades speaking truth to power. Someone who's been out there unafraid, despite the threats that have followed him his entire adult life, it seems.
Rushdie is in surgery, but his condition is unknown at this time. The interviewer that was on stage with Rushdie suffered a minor head injury. In Chautauqua, New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Monkeypox vaccine doses are going to be downsized. U.S. health officials are going to reduce monkeypox vaccines to 1/5 the full dose. The new plan from the White House cites research that the smaller dose is enough to be as effective as the full dose. The new plan will take the current 400,000 doses and create 2 million smaller doses. Still ahead, we have your weekend forecast. Plus,
the metaverse is calling, but are you ready to enter it? I'm Kevin Cork with a look at a new company revolutionizing how we'll look in the digital world. That's coming right up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm meteorologist Sam Ryan. As we look ahead into the day Saturday, lots of sunshine also on Sunday, but we'll notice a little increase in some cloud cover. High pressure will be overhead, keeping us nice and pleasant outside with drier weather to enjoy. Again, those clouds increase a bit more Sunday and especially into the day Monday. And with that, eventually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have chances of storms off and on, and they'll be possible again through next week. I'll show you the setup and the reason why for that. But looking back over the last 5 days, we picked up 0.12 of an inch of rainfall on Tuesday, and that was the precipitation. the total, that is. As we look at the short-term forecast, mentioned high pressure overhead, so nice and dry here for the day Saturday. And will be dry, it looks like, into the day Sunday as well. There is a wave passing by. Here we go into Sunday morning. And so the models indicate it will kind of fizzle out there and lift up to the northeast. But there's a chance, certainly, we could end up getting a light shower into the day on Sunday. But overall, most of the models indicate we'll just get some extra cloud cover as a result of that. So precipitation forecast through Sunday at 7 p.m. Notice, again, it does keep us dry. We'll have the potential overnight of some fog developing. We'll see low temperatures falling into the upper 40s outside. So a nice cool night. And waking up here Saturday morning, we'll be in those mid to upper 40s to around 50 degrees. And then daytime high will quickly warm up. So we get this, with this drier weather, a large diurnal temperature range. So we start off in the upper 40s and then we finish off around 80 degrees into the afternoon. Again, ample sunshine to enjoy here for our Saturday, up to around 72 already at noon, and then 80 for that afternoon high temperature and a chance of that morning fog. So we'll see upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. And then looking ahead, average high, by the way, is 83, so just below that. Sunset occurs at 8:11. The setup, the reason why we'll be a bit unsettled next week, we have that big dome of heat, all this monsoon moisture across the Rockies. That's going to shift farther to the east, to the west, and allow a big trough to develop here in the east. And so pivoting around that trough, we get these little disturbances, and we'll have that triggering off some showers. Again, first chance will be perhaps late Sunday night. Better chance into the day on Monday and Tuesday. High Sunday then topping out around 80 degrees. Average high, once again, 83. Sunset on Sunday occurs at 8:09. Partly cloudy, then a chance of those showers and storms beginning here on Monday with that troughiness around the region and that threat of some showers and storms and some extra cloud cover. Temperatures, high temperatures will be kind of hovering here in the middle 70s, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, upper 70s then towards the end of the week.
In today's world, people like personalization, from sweatshirts, phone cases, bags, and so much more. So why can't your online avatar be personalized to look exactly like you instead of like a cartoon? Kevin Corky has a look at the artificial intelligence program letting you take your real self into the metaverse.
As the metaverse expands, tech companies say it won't be long before more of us are exploring, playing, and doing business in the digital world. So why not have an avatar that looks exactly like you?
Completely realistic avatars are going to be the game changer.
That's what officials at Logarithmic are trying to accomplish, using artificial intelligence, special lighting, and an array of tablets and iPhones to produce lifelike 3D renderings of people's faces, which they can then use in place of the cartoon-like avatars currently dominating the metaverse.
I believe it's a conscious decision by most companies to create non-realistic avatars, because they're easier to create.
Another reason these avatars are simple in design is to avoid a concept called the uncanny valley. It's a phenomenon where something appears human but not completely, resulting in an uneasy feeling. Logarithmic's device and software aim to combat this effect, bringing the most realistic avatars to the forefront of the metaverse, something officials say could make the digital realm a more friendly environment for conducting professional meetings.
You could be giving a job interview or attending remote conferences where you really need to project your real self and not your cartoon self.
Logarithmic is looking into financing options for the fall in hopes of soon getting its devices into public spaces, so anyone can pop in and have their avatar created in minutes. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
People in both the cities and suburbs are embracing a new microtransit trend, with eco-friendly e-scooters leading the charge. Christian Crafton has more now on the story.
Electric bikes and electric scooters are taking their place on the roads right alongside cars, trucks, and SUVs.
I use it to get everywhere, to be honest. This is my only transportation as of right now.
Royal Howard says his scooter is more fun and less expensive than a car.
You don't got to pay for insurance, you don't got to pay for a car registry, you don't got to pay for registration, any of that. But once you buy it, it's yours. You don't got to pay for gas or anything.
More and more of the microtransit vehicles are hitting the streets. It's a trend that the Metropolitan Transportation Commission has noted as well.
It is not your imagination.
Experts say the vehicles are being used in dense urban environments to avoid traffic and parking hassles, and they're being used in the suburbs as part of a commute to get to and from mass transit.
It gets down to convenience. And by eliminating the need to buy gas, by eliminating the need to find parking, it makes mobility easier.
Andre Sublet says portability was a big reason why he used his scooter to get to and from work.
They're easy to fold up. You can stuff them under your desk, put them in your closet when you get home, and like you said, they're eco-friendly. Gas is expensive.
All of this means business is booming for a relative newcomer, Fluid Free Ride, where they specialize in selling and servicing electric scooters. Sam Malika says customers are looking for cost-effective options to get around.
I think it will continue to be a bigger and bigger part of our world as gasoline continues to become more expensive and more people are interested in having a greener commute. If we can replace car trips with electric scooter trips, I think that's a win.
One thing experts agree on as we see more and more of these small powered vehicles out there is that they belong on the streets, not on the sidewalks. Pedestrian and disability advocates say they want to be sure that the sidewalks remain a safe place for pedestrians going forward. In San Francisco, Christian Cafton, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Still ahead, a shortage of pharmacists has Walgreens offering up a hefty signing bonus for new recruits. That story and more coming up. Samsung's Air gets a presidential pardon. Walgreens increases its signing bonus. And cruise ships return to New Zealand. CJ Papa has these stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
South Korea's president pardoned Samsung Air and Vice Chairman J.Y. Lee. State officials saying it's a necessary move as Lee is needed to help the country overcome a national economic crisis. The pardon is largely symbolic since Lee was already out on parole after serving 18 months in jail for a bribery conviction. Johnson & Johnson will stop selling its talc-based baby powder worldwide next year. Instead, talc will be replaced by cornstarch. The move comes more than 2 years after the company ended its U.S. sales of the product following thousands of lawsuits alleging it caused cancer in some people. A shortage of pharmacists has Walgreens offering up a hefty signing bonus for new recruits. According to the Wall Street Journal, the pharmacy chain is offering up to $75,000 to new hires in certain markets. New employees will have to stay on the job for at least a year in order to keep the cash. And cruise ships are once again stopping in New Zealand, the country welcoming the first ship back this week after the country closed its borders in early 2020 due to the pandemic. Borders reopened in May, but it wasn't until 2 weeks ago that remaining restrictions were lifted, including maritime arrivals. The ships are expected to help bring back the nation's tourism industry. For more stories, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm CJ Papa.
Sending gifts through the U.S. Postal Service this holiday season could cost you more. The USPS says it plans to temporarily increase rates for the peak holiday season. The price increase would range from 25 cents to $6.50, depending on the package. It would go into effect October 2nd and end January 22nd, if approved by the Postal Regulatory Commission. The USPS says the extra holiday shipping fees are to offset rising costs. USPS warns more price increases could be on the way. A new study suggests digital devices may be beneficial to hyperactive children. Scientists at a Hungarian university studied kids ages 4 to 6. They found mobile devices don't make kids more hyperactive than they already are. Scientists say hyperactive kids need to keep their alertness level, and video games and movies on mobile devices can help with that. Fast food value menus are starting to dwindle and become more expensive thanks to supply chain issues and inflation. Value menus offer customers cheaper meal options, but in 2021, fewer than half of the value and combo meals were available compared to what was promoted in 2016. According to management consulting company Technomic, the number of value meals on menus decreased by more than 5% in 2021. Fuel, labor, and other prices have increased during inflation, causing profits at some restaurants to take a hit. Despite the Consumer Price Index not increasing for July, home budgets are still getting hit hard because of food prices. Food prices, especially groceries for at-home dining, jumped 13.1% in July. That is the biggest one-year increase since 1979. A New York Life survey says Americans' biggest worries are paying for food and gas. Consumers are bargain hunting and are buying cheaper brands, that according to one data research company. Eggs saw the biggest jump in price with a 38% increase compared to last year. Stay with us. We'll have more after the break. We want to leave you with a smile. You can now get some of your favorite summer flavors in your favorite bag of chips. Doritos announcing it is releasing ketchup and mustard flavored chips. The chips based off of some of Canada's best-selling varieties of the snack. Both flavors will be available for a limited time and sold only on Frito-Lay's website, snacks.com, with a large bag costing some $5.50. I'm Jamie Holmes. Thanks so much for watching.